So the Cleveland Browns have actually been looking pretty good, and they've been looking pretty dominant in training camp. Nearly due to the fact is that Shedeur Sanders has been looking like a very good quarterback in training camp. It's not like he was a bad quarterback last season either. Shedeur Sanders, he's had his moments, he's had his ups and downs, he's had his highs and lows. So it's not like Shedeur Sanders is a bad quarterback or anything like that. What I do like to see is that in training camp, he's been turning it up a notch, and he's been really, really, good. He's been putting in that work, as y'all can tell. Shedeur Sanders, he's been working hard, he's been doing what he got to do, and he's been looking like he can really make something shake in these upcoming, training camps. And not only that, in preseason and, just in the NFL season in general, I think Shedeur Sanders could be that guy for the Cleveland Browns. If you ask me, man, I don't really care about no Deshaun Watson or anything like that or that other stuff I'm hearing. I think Sanders is that dude. So we're going to talk about this Watson versus Shedeur Sanders thing, because they really determined to win against each other. You feel me? Obviously win the job. So Watson, I guess he's been all right. I don't know, he worked with the first team offense on the first day of the Browns training camp, but he didn't make the most of his opportunities. In the first live 11-on-11 period, he completed a deep curl to Gage Laverdine off a scramble, but shortly thereafter threw back-to-back interceptions. So one by Denzel Ward and one by the new cornerback, Damari Mathis, over the middle. So Deshaun Watson, somebody that was a very good football player at one point, I could tell you that he's just a wash at this point, So on the first one, Ward had tight coverage on Tylan Wallace on the over route of a levels concept and swiped the ball away. Mathis came right back and swiped the ball over the middle, intended for Laverdine. It was a disappointing sequence for a QB who must do everything possible to stave off Shedeur Sanders, who's just as determined to win the job, And it was a great play, more by Ward than, to me, a poor decision, is what Todd Monken told the team's radio show. But I don't know. He said he was standing right behind Deshaun. He would have made a throw as well. But I don't know, man. Watson then completed a deep lob to Jerry Jeudy in 11-on-11s, but it was mostly an underwhelming practice for the three-time Pro Bowler. The Browns, too, spotted during the practice with Watson and Dylan Gabriel on the first-team field for the early part of practice, and then Shedeur Sanders in the sixth-round pick Taylor Green on the second-team field. So later they all came together on the main field with Watson going first, Sanders second, and Gabriel third. Now, let's go to Sanders. So when Sanders was over on the second-team field, he had two of the best wideouts on the team to work with, and the rookies in Casey Conception and Denzel Boston. So Sanders, he took advantage, completed a nice deep sideline route to Boston down the right side in 11-on-11s. He connected with Conception deep in 7-on-7s. So Shedeur Sanders, he's been throwing deep balls to Boston. He's been looking very good. But Sanders also struggled early on in his 11-on-11 periods. He overthrew some receivers a couple times, failed to make any wild plays. But I do believe that Sanders is the best quarterback on this team. He could get away with making a little bit of mistakes. Sanders is still young. He's still fresh. And on Thursday, Sanders should be taking the first-team reps. But honestly, I think he should be the QB1. I like Shedeur Sanders. To me, he's a very good player. And I do believe that he has a lot of potential. A lot of people don't like him because they say he's cocky, this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, this man has a lot of potential. Denzel Ward's new 2 years, $62 million extension being officially signed. That's news right there. There was safety Grant Delpit getting his new 3-year, $48 million extension, which allowed him to end what it looked like it was going to be a hold of sorts until he got one. Along with all that was old friend Jadeveon Clowney making a free agent visit to the facility as a defensive end, potentially could return to the team he played for from 2021 through 2022. Of course, that time ended with him being left in Cleveland for the 2022 season finale in Pittsburgh because of comments he made about the organization and specifically Myles Garrett, right? So all of that was happening as the Browns was taking the field for their first training camp practice. So I'm just happy to see Shedeur Sanders. Watson, like I said, there's no point of Watson really starting. I don't see what he brings to this Browns team. He's literally been just messing up. He's, throwing back-to-back interceptions. Like, I know it's training camp. This is where you have the room to make mistakes and do this type of stuff. But it's like, Come on, bro. You making the worst mistakes. Like, you throwing back-to-back picks for no reason, making bad passes, horrible off-target throws. I understand Watson is rusty, but it's like either you have legal issues or you get injured. Like, there's really no point of Deshaun Watson keep trying to fight for his career. Like, you already got the bag. I think he should hang it up. Like Andrew Luck, hang it up. So then you see Shedeur Sanders out here. He's making good plays. He had the best throw of the day with that go route to Casey Conception on the 7-on-7s. So if you ask me, I think Sanders is that guy. I don't think it's Deshaun Watson. Another thing to watch for is the left tackle battle. Dewan Jones and Spencer Fano, they've been going at it. You know, they've been really going at it. I don't know who's going to win that, but I thought it would be Spencer Fano, obviously, but Dewan Jones is still getting them one spot. So it's like they going at it for each other, just like how Watson and Shedeur Sanders is going at it. And also, if y'all want to know an update on Junkins, he's going to be coming back. He's going to be looking back to normal soon, hopefully. You got Dylan Sampson, who they said has been looking great. He's been looking great. Dylan Sampson looked like the talent never went nowhere. So that's something good to hear, man. So this Browns team, man, I know usually the Browns are like a team that don't really have much success, but this team got a chance. Only thing is they did get rid of Myles Garrett, which is going to significantly hurt their defense, but other than that, they got a future. I'm not going to say other than that because obviously Myles Garrett was like the main, piece on that defense and probably was holding the defense together. But what I could tell you is that they have a future. This Browns team definitely has a future. And we're going to see what Shedeur Sanders do. Like I said, I believe Shedeur Sanders could be somebody very good for the Cleveland Browns. And I believe that he will be somebody that could really help this team go to the next level. And if Todd, starts Deshaun Watson over Shedeur Sanders, he's making a huge mistake because Sanders is that guy. He's making the plays. He's making the throws. He's making the right reads. He looks better than Dylan Gabriel. He looks better than Deshaun Watson. So I don't see the point in not letting Shedeur Sanders just be the starter. Like, what do you lose from letting Shedeur Sanders start? So hopefully this Browns team just makes the right moves. All I can tell you is that Shedeur Sanders, he looks like the real deal. And this Browns team is looking solid overall throughout training camp. So I'm going to be definitely giving out more and more insight and more of a scoop on these football teams throughout training camp. So if you enjoyed this video, Gridiron priority, you know what to do. Subscribe. We're going to be bringing out that content as much as possible. We're going to be keeping y'all updated with all teams across the NFL. So if you like that, peace.